Okay, the iPhone 18 Pro Max is now only a few months away. And this time, Apple may be changing more than just the chip. We could get a camera that physically controls how much light enters the lens, a much bigger battery, a smaller dynamic island, a new 2-nanometer chip, and even 5G internet through satellite. But here's the big question: will these upgrades actually be worth the price? And exactly when can you buy it? Stay with me, because I'll reveal the most likely release date near the end. Right now, everyone is asking the same questions. Will the camera really be much better? Will the battery finally last 2 full days? Is Face ID going under the screen? How expensive will the Pro Max be? Should you buy an iPhone now? Or should you wait for the iPhone 18 Pro Max? We're covering all of that. But before we start, tell me one thing. What upgrade do you want the most? A bigger battery, a full-screen display, better zoom, or faster charging? Drop your answer in the comments. I'll reply to your questions, and I'll feature the best comment in my next iPhone video. Okay, let's start with the release date. Apple has not officially announced the iPhone 18 Pro Max yet, so nothing is confirmed by Apple. But Mark Gurman has shared the 2 most likely event dates: Tuesday, September 8, 2026, or Wednesday, September 9, 2026. If that happens, pre-orders could open on Friday, September 11, and the phone could reach stores on Friday, September 18. September 25 is also possible if Apple chooses a later event. But right now, September 18 looks like the strongest date. And here's something important. The iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max are expected this September, but the normal iPhone 18 may not arrive until early 2027. So Apple may split the lineup into 2 separate launches. Will we finally get a full-screen iPhone? Now let's talk about the front design. A lot of people were expecting Face ID to move completely under the screen. That would leave only a tiny camera hole and give us something much closer to a full-screen iPhone. But don't get too excited yet. The latest information says underscreen Face ID may not be ready this year. Instead, Apple may simply make the dynamic island smaller. One leak claims it could become around 35% narrower. That means it could drop from about 20.7 millimeters wide to around 13.5 millimeters. That would definitely look cleaner. But here's the problem. Another leak says the smaller dynamic island may be delayed, so the reports do not fully agree. The screen itself is still expected to stay at 6.9 inches. And it should keep the smooth 120Hz Pro Motion display. So expect a cleaner front, but probably not a completely full-screen iPhone yet. The biggest camera upgrade now, this is where things get really interesting. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is expected to get a variable aperture main camera. That sounds complicated, but the idea is actually simple. The current main camera has a fixed opening. On the iPhone 17 Pro Max, that main 48-megapixel camera uses a fixed f/1.78 aperture. It cannot physically open or close. The phone mostly depends on software to control the final look. A variable aperture would be different. The lens could physically change the size of its opening. In dark conditions, it could open wider. That would allow more light to reach the camera sensor. This could help with night photos. It could reduce image noise, and it could help the camera use a faster shutter speed. During the day, the aperture could become smaller. That could keep more of the image in focus. For example, imagine taking a group photo. You don't only want the person at the front to look sharp. You also want the people behind them to stay in focus. A smaller opening can help with that. And for portraits, a wider opening could create more natural background blur. Not just software blur, real optical blur. Min-Kai Kuo was one of the first sources to report this upgrade. He also says the new variable aperture lens could cost Apple around 50% more than its current high-end lens system. But we still don't know the exact aperture range. So don't believe any exact f-stop numbers you see online unless Apple announces them. Apple's first 2-nanometer iPhone chip next. Let's talk about the A20 Pro chip. This could be one of the biggest changes inside the phone. The A20 Pro is expected to use TSMC new 2-nanometer process. The current chip is already very fast, so you may not notice a huge difference when opening Instagram or WhatsApp. But 2-nanometer technology is mainly about getting more performance while using less power. TSMC says its 2-nanometer technology can offer around 10 to 15% more speed while using the same amount of power. Or it can use around 25 to 30% less power while running at the same speed. Now, those are TSMC general technology numbers. They are not confirmed iPhone performance numbers. Apple could use the extra efficiency in different ways. It could make games run faster. It could improve battery life. Or it could give more power to on-device AI. The A20 Pro is also expected to use a new design called WMCM packaging. Right now, phone memory is normally placed above the main processor. The new system could move the memory next to the chip. That could help with heat. It could make memory access faster, and it could help the phone keep its speed for longer during gaming, video editing, and AI tasks. The Pro models are also expected to get 12 gigabytes of RAM. That extra memory would be useful for larger AI models and heavy apps running in the background. The much bigger battery now, let's talk about the upgrade most people will actually notice. Battery life. New regulatory listings appear to show a much bigger battery inside the iPhone 18 Pro Max. The US version is listed with a 5,567 mAh battery. The current US model is listed at 5,088 mAh. That is an increase of 479 mAh, or about 9.4%. The model with a physical SAM tray is listed at 5,391 mAh. That is 568 mAh more than the previous version. So depending on the region, the increase could be close to 10% or more. And remember, this bigger battery may also be working with a more efficient 2-nanometer processor. So Apple could get better battery life from both sides. A physically bigger battery and a chip that needs less power. The current Pro Max is officially rated for up to 39 hours of video playback. Apple has not shared a battery life number for the next model. But if these battery listings are real, the improvement could be easy to notice. There is one possible downside. The phone may become slightly thicker and heavier. So yes, we may get better battery life, but we may also get an even heavier Pro Max. 5G internet through satellite. Here's another upgrade that could be a really big deal. The iPhone 18 Pro Max may support 5G through satellite. Today, satellite features are mainly used when normal mobile service is not available, but the new C2 modem may take that idea much further. Reports say it could allow some form of web access through satellite. That means you may be able to go online in places where there is no Wi-Fi and no normal mobile signal. Think about mountains, remote roads, or areas affected by a natural disaster. But we need to be careful here. This does not mean you will get normal high-speed 5G everywhere on Earth. Satellite connections can be slower. They may require a clear view of the sky, and the feature may depend on your country and mobile network. There is also some uncertainty around the modem. One report says models outside the United States may use Apple's C2 modem, while US models could still use Qualcomm hardware. So this feature sounds exciting, but we need Apple to explain exactly how it will work. Design and new colors from the back. Don't expect a completely new phone. The main shape is expected to stay similar. The large camera area should remain. The 6.9-inch screen should remain. And the overall design will probably feel familiar, but Apple may clean up the rear finish. The glass area around MagSafe could look more frosted and more connected to the rest of the back. That could remove some of the two-tone look. New colors are also being discussed. One reported color is called dark cherry. Light blue, dark gray, and silver have also been mentioned. But color leaks often change before launch. So don't choose your case based on these reports just yet. The price could be painful, okay? Now for the bad news. The iPhone 18 Pro Max may become more expensive. The current Pro Max starts at $1,199 in the United States. IDC believes the next Pro models could increase by as much as $200. That could push the Pro Max starting price to around $1,399. Again, this is a prediction. It is not Apple's confirmed price, but there are a few reasons why a price increase is possible. The variable aperture lens is expected to cost around 50% more. The phone may use 12 gigabytes of RAM. Memory prices have also increased. And the new 2-nanometer chip will not be cheap to produce. So yes, the iPhone 18 Pro Max may have some serious upgrades. But Apple may also ask you to pay a serious price for them. Should you buy now or wait? So, should you buy an iPhone right now? Here's my honest answer. If you already use an iPhone 16 Pro Max or iPhone 17 Pro Max, wait. The next launch is too close. You should at least see what Apple announces. Wait if battery life is your top priority. Wait if you care about the variable aperture camera. And wait if satellite internet sounds useful to you. But if you use